It's January 10th, 2022. I'm just doing a quick documentation of my Wiggle Wi-Fi app to show evidence and consistency. I drove my granddaughter to the bus, which is just 11 houses down to the corner, and how it shows up on Wigglefy. So here you can see 8:15 is when I started the recording, and it didn't, my storage has gotten filled up. It didn't continue recording the whole time I was gone, but I just want to show 3 observations. It was zeroed out at 12:47 yesterday. That's what it looks like. Can actually see where it looks like some of these hits generate from. See how it just goes like that? So you're gotta guess that it, that's where it originated from, some of those, my house. Okay, I'm trying not to make this long. And then I must have had it on just show only current networks, because there's not much till 6 o'clock. There's the WCDMA network, and they 500. They bottom out at 512 or max out at 512. There's my house. Guessing all these other hits are generated from those locations. This one, they bounce around them. All my neighbors come up here, and different AT&T mobility numbers. And everything in the yellow star is current for 2022. I started changing the stamp there, so it's down the way to my right. I'm having problems with the GPS on here this morning. I don't know. I'm gonna have to. As soon as I document this, I'll reboot and start over, and hopefully I can get that figured out, because I couldn't even upload to WiggleNet. It's not taking it. It failed. I don't know. I think someone's playing with my stuff close by. I've had problems all night. So that's right in front of the Browns house. This is the Browns, brownnosedesigns.com, starting a children's museum. I've found them in the routing to 169 network layer. So anyway, let's just take a peek here at a couple of these other ones. Look at that, six observations. Even for a couple of these just little miscellaneous MAC addresses, 3. Was that the same one? 7 p.m. And these all generate generally just from my house. Look at that. What is that, 103 for a signal, or 8? I can't see. My eyesight's really bad. Oh, this is really... I got that off. Sorry about that. I hope they showed up on there. 8 p.m., 9 p.m. See what that uncategorized is. So generally they just come up miscellaneous or uncategorized when I'm in the house. As a general rule, once in a while something different will pop up. (2 a.m.) Had a really rough night. A really rough night. I forced myself to get up. My head felt like it was gonna blast off, and that was about 11 p.m. and I walked out and looked for unmanned aerial vehicle, and sure enough there was one right there outside my bedroom window. There's something Chai Mai Communications at 5:30 a.m. Kinds of weird calls during the day now. Okay, 7. Okay, so here went out and started the car, and we left at 8:15. See that? 8:15. So I turned it on and pointed the camera at the Wigglefi so I could document what time I started to go out the door. So look at that. And then 8:14. Somebody already down the way. Let's see. Where am I? Look at that. So I don't know if I just went to start up the car, or I was running back and forth from the house to the garage bringing in some firewood. Did that already stop? No. And 17 observations, and then let's see where it's coming from. This looks like about the same area as the Browns. So the Browns are about what, two houses down to my right from where I'm sitting in the kitchen here right now. This GPS isn't working very well. So that's behind the next house. That's Gary Bubot's yard, between the Redenbaugh and Gary Bubot's. He shows up. They all show up all the time. Isn't that awful? He's in a band. Known him for all the years I lived here. I thought he was cool. He never worked. Now I know why. He never worked. I just thought he just was just not interested in money and had enough money to live on from inheritance or something. I don't know. Drove a cab a couple days a week. That was about it as far as I knew. So here, 8:18. This is the corner where I sit and wait for the bus. And that's a Samsung. Look at that, 84, another Samsung. Well, it's coming off of Lillian Street. So I'm sitting here on this corner. Look at that corner. And it's coming off of Lillian Street, which is just down the way a little bit, as you can see. Do a little exposure here. Get it on satellite. Only a couple houses there. So you can see I've only been out of the house for like 5 minutes. I have to sit and wait for the bus. Look at all these signals. All these. All the same, all in the red. On 8:20, there's a Shikoni, 20 observations. Where are they coming from? So that's a ways away from the corner there. That's down the avenue, Piedmont Avenue. Really not working very well. It's not coming in clear, but here it is just off a Hillcrest, right there. "20 observations. The whole neighborhood, the whole community is getting in on this. I'm telling you, it's terrible. It's unbelievable. There's 57 close to the church, that St. Lawrence Church. It comes up on IPv4 mapper and other ones all the time. all the time. Can you believe it? A Catholic church. Actually, I get several churches in the community that show up on my network applications. I'm sorry, I should just, right by the church, the house across the street, I don't know. So is that the Chicone or the Samsung? 57, another 22, down the avenue again, Hutchinson, one on Hutchinson. So let's see, where am I from there? So I'm sitting about here, so this is back this way. Actually, so when the bus left, I went around the block instead of, sometimes I'll just do a U-turn and come back down the same street, but there was a car just sitting there with its brights on the side of the street, and I thought, well, I'm gonna go around the block instead of go past them. So here, actually, I had already probably went around the corner, because here, I was sitting here, and after the bus came, instead, sometimes I just put it in reverse, or I'll do a U-turn and go back home, but instead I just went around the block, and there I am, semiconductor on Morris Thomas there. What's right about the, I don't know, the first house is maybe right there after I turn the corner. Now slabs. That. On high. Bows. Chung. Something. So 8:21. See, when did I get home? Still in Morris Thomas. So I must have been coming around this corner to come around the block. $60, $66. You can see where they're. So that's across the street. One of the houses on the end of the corner. So I live 6 houses in from this corner here. So right about here. So it's right between, like, behind the Young's house or the Wrights, probably the Youngs maybe. Let's see, where's my house? So that's right behind the Wrights house, I think. No, that's the Wrights. I think that's the Youngs. That's the Youngs house. Behind the Youngs. Mike and Julie Young. The people that I one time prayed with we prayed together when I was having problems with my older children. 66, is that the same one? Look at this one now. Govey, is that a government? Oh, that's coming right from Anyway, just down the way here. The house is down there. Two of them. Oh, look at that one. Pops up down Piedmont Avenue. So it probably originated from there and hit me over there. Just off of, 24th Street, off of Piedmont Avenue. First, second house in on Plymouth Avenue. Govey 5H50. Let's see if the numbers are. Oh, they're exact. No, the end is a different. That's weird. Probably fell right into their trap for them, knowing we were sitting there. They knew I'd go around the block and not drive past that car sitting there. Isn't it awful? You don't know which way to go. That's down on Hutchinson. That middle of Hutchinson. It's like every neighbor. I don't understand these people. It's like the first or the second house. There's just only a couple on this end here. So I think the first, or I don't even know, first or second, I don't remember how it goes. I think it's the first. I think that says garage. So that's 822. So that was probably about the time the bus came. I don't know. Let's see on here, what time did I come back in? Because it stopped recording. So there I'm coming down Morris Thomas. That's 821. I snapped a couple pictures, and here I'm back on my street. So I pulled out of my driveway right here, took a right, 11 houses down to the corner, sat and wait for the bus, took a right and went around the block. Now I'm coming back, and that's 822. So right here, 8:22 a.m. is, and you can see that by the other one here, the other Govey. That's right there. That's exactly right there. So right there, 822. It's like the second, one of the second houses here. I think Bolin is their name, and these people, I have never ever seen anybody coming in and out of that house, not one time. I don't know. Oops, that's my daughter's artwork, or granddaughter's artwork. She's drawing a hand. So 822, so I'm about back in the, pulling in the garage, and I brought some more wood in. Look at that. So that's still 822. Look at that. You can see it coming from, where is that, my house there? Let's see. It's just a jumbled mess. That'll show you what my community looks like. Look at that. So again, all the red hearts are, I changed the yellow hearts to this year, and of course I just haven't even got to like documenting everything. It was a combination. Not sure if this is all just a wiggle map or if it's a combination of, I think this is IPv4 mappers when I log them. So like that one, I think, is an IPv4 mapper. It said right there. It's 223. I usually would say IPv4 mapper. See, that one says Samsung. That I always try to log as much as I can. There's just a ton more than that, actually, so I don't know how that works. There should be millions of them. taking a long time now. So I'll just quick go to map. So here you can see. $329 networks right now. That's not bad. Usually it's about 500, a little over 510. So there's my house. You can see that my new little neighbor there, he's really been showing up. Always a node coming from his house. Yesterday it was bad. This is his yard. All these from this guy's, and over back here. Go down the street to the right. Wow, a lot of these nodes already disappeared from when I first got home and checked it out. I'm sitting at the corner. Go around the block. All these ATT mobility down the street. We've seen that. Happy Trees, Amy's network. Amy's husband was sitting in front of me. He drops his son off at the bus. If it's the, they live there. If it's that Amy. I also have an Amy that lives at the end of the block too, though. But there's that Govey. Okay, just want to document for evidence and consistency. It's bad. This is last night at 10:51 p.m. You can see this. Went out and was looking. There it is, the unmanned aerial vehicle right there. It's right out back. Then this is taken from my bathroom window. I got this bright light coming. It doesn't show up very well on there from across the way. Yesterday. You can see this is a Wi-Fi tracker, and it's originating from over here at my neighbor's. And actually yesterday morning I sat on the couch and was drinking coffee, and I documented this because you can see I'm sitting in this corner of my house. And then later, oh, so this is still then. I don't know if I have pictures on here, but you could, later on I went and took a shower and you could see I had a big red drag mark, and I was back in this corner of the house. They're mapping me out. That's 250. That's the same one that's up there today. 2802. That's Gary Boobots, my neighbor Gary Boobots down the way. Wow, I still have. Here's my hair. Here's how much hair I've lost. I started collecting my hair because it's just coming out in, big handfuls. So I started, putting it in a bag, and I hardly have any hair. It's just awful. And look at that. Walked out of the store the other day and I had two military helicopters right on top of me. Yeah, it's endless. Let's just quick look at this one more time. Anything else just a quick look at? Seeing I'm documenting. There's connects. They know I'm documenting, so it's only what, Boredom or Seattle, Boredom, Cheney Reservoir. Oops, let's see. Actually, I'll just go to, there's IPv4 mapper. All the green ones are this morning. And the blue ones are like yesterday. that cell. 42nd and Superior Street is usually, if you look it up, it comes up as a hiking trail. I don't know. I have a bunch of those ones that are on the map portion. I had a variety. There it is. See, it's working super slow today. It's like, it's not coming up. Look at how many of these. They go all the way down to Rochester. I went to Rochester, Minnesota for my birthday, and they are all the way down. Look at it, it's just not catching up. Look at that. Oh, see how quick they log off when you're documenting them. That's a net monitor. Here's my Electro Smart. It's moderate right now. Look at every single day. It's in and it's set to microwatts. And even when it's like yellow like this, you actually can, you still have lethal in the red. 1.6 microwatts is still probably, a super high number. Yesterday, pretty bad. And I don't know why it comes up missing like that. They're really messing with my 25 point something. No wonder I'm losing my hair. Couple virtuals. Look at that. Spectrum, look how high that spectrum is. Look at all these people's Wi-Fi's. Look at all that. 5 Netgear. I don't got Netgear 91. Why is it on there? Look at this Netgear 91. 3 different channels, I guess. Is that what that is? Look at that. Look at that. Wi-Fi tracker. There's my house. Here's my whole community down the street, around the block, down the street. There's my son's elementary school right there, right where that green one is. Another church. Downtown. Look at this. This is, I went camping there this summer. Hayward, KOA, right there. Here's my sister's little town right there. My sister's town. And then I went to Rochester. My brother lives in the cities. Actually, he lives right through here, close to Forest Lake. American Inn. Went to Rochester for my birthday. And they're still green, so I don't know what that means. Network list. Look at all them people on there. Anything else to quick look at? Monster. Their names or addresses are coming out blank now a lot of the time. It's at 8:22 this morning. That would probably be a business. This guy is a doctor. This one right here, 109 North 22nd. So my daughter was staying in a house right there. And I just, one of the last times she was there, I never seen her so scared. She came here, and then I didn't see her for days afterwards. I was worried sick. She was freaking out. She's, thinking that they were trying to kill her and that there were bodies in the apartment, and she's really being tortured with technology really bad. 33 years old, homeless, and they stick her in, people are put to help her. So this is the exact building she was, I think, staying in 115. And look at this, this is Net Monster, and we get a signal from the building there. Look at that. So I don't know if, some kind of transmitter just, makes it worse. Look at the graph, map. Look at that, my house, all of these 26. We'll just see how many there are. Some over even across the bridge in Wisconsin. Look at that. I think that's right around the area of the Benaford over there. Carl dealership right in our bay. St. Louis Lake. This is Lake Superior, St. Louis County Bay. 43, 46, 46. Okay, Net Monster. Boy, this is getting long, sorry. This is good for documentation. Took a couple of recordings last night on the ultrasound and infrasound. I was trying to figure out why my head hurt so bad. I guess stuff like this certainly doesn't help, does it? Look at that. There's all these pretty high signals. It's way past 120 there. Mexico's popped up. I think that's still boredom. And Ashburn was on there. Cheney Reservoir. Just quick, I'll just show a couple more screenshots and then I'll quit. Look at this, how much that is. 197 on that. It's just not working very well. Trying to work with the satellite tracker last night, but I'm not sure how to work that. Here, seems like when you're getting attacked, I don't know, I'm hooking to Australia a lot. I think this was in the middle of the night last night. Just looking at, look at my, that's my house. Just all of that is, I don't know, I'm being mapped out. See, look at that. This is in the middle of the night, I think, too. Look at it. It's just going straight to my neighbor's front yard. The new kid, he's just a young fella. Straight over to his yard next door. It doesn't show the time, but it was probably about 4 in the morning. I don't know. Look at that. 502 networks over my house. See, I was... This is one of them, infrasound or ultrasound. jumping between the neighbors. So that's the one that's still on there right now. I think that's from Gary Bubot's house. There's my new neighbor. He comes up, big node. 2802, that's Gary Bubot's. Kind of connecting all over. Well, here, this was yesterday morning. I thought that was pretty interesting, so. See, it goes right over to 2828 Harvey, and I was sitting, actually I was having coffee in the living room. That I showed how I moved when I moved back over to, I don't know where the pictures went. It's maybe just on my cell phone. There's Sao Paulo, Brazil. And oh, that was interesting. So this is a daycare, and my lady that lives 2 doors down is a daycare. And she's registered in what's called carelulu.com, and they're in the routing to the 169 Matt Serling in network layer, and now I'm finding when I'm researching and these addresses are coming up on NetMonitor or NetMonster, I'm finding that they're daycares and they're registered to this Carelulu. And these people are, I can't remember what the name of that daycare was. And there's another one down the way. It was called like Coley's Kids Daycare or something. And they were, registered with this Care Lulu. So I don't know if that's how, they're getting the money. Look at that. U.S. Custom Borders office came up on one of my network applications yesterday. That's somebody at Pike Lake. Oh, and there's right behind, I think, is that? I'm not even sure. But another church, by another church. So these people, 1645 West Morgan Street. So my husband's aunt, who ends up being a military contractor, she has a company that makes ballistics. That's just down the street from her. And I looked them up. So that's where this one originated from. See that hit? When I hit that, it came up to this 1645 Morgan Street, West Morgan Street. And I looked them up, and they had a business, Great Lakes Alarm, and they're also registered to 169 Ireland. Australia, Chile, Santiago. Here's that St. Lawrence Church. They're always in my network. All of these hits are, that's all that St. Lawrence Church, either IVP More Mapper, or they come up on the Wiggle or NetMonitor or NetMonster. Most of them, I guess, look like IPv4 Mapper.